This commemoration of the Lord's Supper, it is a celebration that is dear to me and close to my heart, because we celebrate an intimate time with our Lord when he instituted 2 of the 7 sacraments, the Eucharist and priestly order. It is also the night when Jesus gave the commandment to love one another through humble service, as an example of his self-emptying love for us. Now, I would like to bring our attention to the following words in John's Gospel. Having loved his own who were in the world, he loved them to the end. Jesus loved them to the end. I am so drawn to these words because it reveals how deeply our Lord loves each and every one of us. He loved them to the end. To the end. Jesus loved his own to the end of his earthly life, to the point of shedding his blood to the very last drop. However, if we are to look at the chosen Greek word for end, it gives us a broader understanding of Christ's love for us. The Greek word for end is telos, and it gives many meanings. It may also mean completely, totally, entirely, wholly, forever. In other words, there are no half measures here. When Jesus showed his love for us to the end, regardless of the optics, regardless what people thought of him, regardless of our sinfulness, he loves us entirely, completely, and in an everlasting way. This is symbolized in the foot washing of his apostles. To give us a context, in those days, the common means for traveling was by foot. And can you imagine how dirty their feet became while wearing sandals? At that time, it was the custom for slaves to wash the feet of their master. And yet, here is the Lord himself, the master of the universe, who degrades himself gladly to a level of a slave, gets on his knees, and proceeds to wash the feet of his disciples. It is no wonder Peter objected at first. But if we look beyond this humiliating act of foot washing, this humble service signifies the humiliating act of the cross. As Jesus pours out water into a basin for the washing of the feet on Holy Thursday, it emphasizes the pouring out of his most precious blood on the cross on Good Friday. A sacrificial self-emptying so that we may be washed clean. Jesus says, "For I have set you an example, that you also should do as I have done to you." Do we dare to love as Christ loved us in a sacrificial way? Do we choose to sacrifice inconvenience and our self-will in order to help others? Do we choose to sacrifice our pride in order to reconcile with one another, even with the most difficult characters? And so, do we dare to serve like Christ as he humbly served by washing the feet of his apostles, especially the one who was to betray him? Here we have Jesus even washing the feet of Judas Iscariot. Christ knew that this apostle was about to betray him, and yet he still chose to kneel before Judas to wash his feet. Think about that. Think about his unconditional love. This, my brothers and sisters, is the call for each of us. It is to serve without prejudice, regardless of class, appearance, IQ, or difference of opinions. Even the Judas in our lives, those who betray us, the Lord commands us to also serve them in their need. We heard the Lord's command in John's Gospel when he said, "So if I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also ought to wash one another's feet. For I have set you an example that you also should do as I have done to you." Through his words in today's gospel, Jesus not only called his disciples 2,000 years ago, he also calls each and every one of us today to serve others in the same way. Soon, we will have the washing of the feet. And during this time, I strongly encourage each of us to ponder on our call to serve. During the washing of feet, I invite each of us to address our Lord with the following words. Lord, in what way am I called to serve? Please teach me how to love you and others through humble service.